All right, welcome back, guys, to the World Championship Series Europe Premier League as we now find out, unfortunately, which of our players in Group D is going to be eliminated.
Yeah, it's always the worst part of the group to see a player be eliminated from the Premier League because you're not going to see them again next season unless they re-qualify from Challenger. It's MVP who could get knocked out here. He is a champion, he's a warrior, he's a king, and he can be eliminated. If uThermal can find it within him to somehow be able to stop MVP in his tracks. But MVP is going to be feeling much more confident in a Terran versus Terran than anything else. Well, actually, I say that than anything else. Than playing Protoss. Let's just cut to the chase. Feeling much more confident because he can play mech.
Yeah.
He can go mech.
It's MVP.
He loves his mech. He can use mech now. And if he uses mech, he doesn't need to worry so much about being able to control small amounts of units. He can play his own game, can get leads, can finish off with an unstoppable army.
Yeah, I mean, it's MVP. It's one of the guys that you look back to and it's like epic matches against people like MMA, for example, from all that time ago, even last season where he played some fantastic TVT. But now let's get right on into it. uThermal versus MVP to find out who advances on to play against Todd and who is eliminated. As we have spawning down to the bottom right-hand corner here, our blue Terran representing 80 Gaming from the Netherlands. It is uThermal. And up to the top left-hand corner, our red Terran representing Incredible Miracle. He's the king of wings. It's MVP.
What a day. Again, the WCS here in Europe just providing the best games, the best entertainment, the best StarCraft. This is awesome. Again, 4 groups now, well, including this one, 4 groups down. It's been fun. It's been a lot of fun so far. We've got some awesome players in the round of 16 already. And as I said before the season started, James, this is going to be the best season that we've had so far. I know it is. I can feel it is. Our producer, Matt, says it's going to be the best season. It will be the best season. And now we see, can uThermal fight to survive? Harston was able to find a way to break through in first place in a very similar position that uThermal found himself entering today's group. There is absolutely hope for the underdog every single day within WCS.
And what a way to open this series up on way station, far spawning positions. So for now, this could happily play out in a mech game from the side of MVP.
Absolutely.
And uThermal, we'll see what he wants to do. uThermal, I haven't really seen much of his TVT, I will admit, but he strikes me as the kind of guy that's probably going to go for like the mobility factor. And if that's going to happen, like use a lot of, biocentric play to try and kind of outmaneuver his opponent, but it's MVP. How are you supposed to do something like that? That's crazy.
It's MVP.
Yeah.
uThermal, I actually looked earlier today, and it just reminded me to check again, of his TVT games. One game stands out, is that he beat Jack G 2-0 at DreamHack Bucharest.
Ah, yeah.
Live, no latency issues. He was in Bucharest, and he beat him. If he can beat Jack G, then there's absolutely potential that he can beat MVP here. No doubt in my mind. But MVP is going to play mech. I mean, I have the same kind of feeling that uThermal could be MVP. Like, I feel MVP is going to play mech. I say that, and let's hope he does now. But MVP is the mech player. The builds that we see shaped up are very economic focused, not as heavy as they could have been. Both taking late gases. But we notice MVP, who got the scouting information compared to his opponent who didn't, takes an advantage with the setup of the builds, because he knows his opponent's playing economically focused, so he's like, all right, cool, so am I. I'll put my command center on low ground. I get a faster command center there. I don't have to lift up. I don't have to, move things around. uThermal does.
Yeah, so far away. How are you really going to exploit that on a map like this in these spawning positions? uThermal now, yes, he is moving out with a few Marines, but by the time he gets over there, there's going to be enough units out for MVP anyway to really
you
deal
say
with it.
that. 3 Marines and a Reaper that's pretty fast against 2 at the moment. If that Reaper gets over there fast, because 1 Marine's on the Zelnaga Tower, remember. It's not with the other 2.
That's not the best. He pokes forward, sees 2 Marines, and then he restructures just a little bit.
Oh.
Needs to pull that back.
Yeah, nice micro.
Oh, actually, wins out. And that that can be the difference in terms of these.
And the Reaper's going to get the one straggling at the back. Ooh. So he's going to slow down the command center.
Wow, okay.
Small little victory here for uThermal. He's going to pick off 1 Marine, so it's 2 Marines down for nothing. 3 Marines and a Reaper versus 1 Marine. He needs the Hellion out, which will obviously start to balance this out, but MVP's been slowed down already.
I underestimated that little push out there from uThermal. A really good move, and even on a huge map like this, still made it work.
If that command center gets cancelled, I'm going to get up and walk out of this studio. That's so big.
Yeah, he's going to probably be able to push it back, though. I think we're safe from a solo cast. I think we're okay.
All right.
Okay, so he's going to even kill off the rest of it.
Hellion survives just 1 shot away from dying. So it's cleaned up, but that was a nice little move by uThermal. And by uThermal, we got double gases. Only a single one from MVP, which is interesting, which leads towards more minerals, obviously.
Yeah.
Is that a 3rd command center? Is this bio? He scans and sees double gas of his opponent, scans and sees the starport. Knowing that your opponent has double gas, you know that it's most likely going to be some form of high-tech unit. The surprise here is that it's a Widowmine. So it's like a Widowmine drop with a few Marines, which could catch MVP off guard, as MVP might mentally be preparing for that Banshee. This is a nice little move.
Well, Vikings now on the way here for uThermal, probably in anticipation if something crazy was going on, like a Banshee or follow-up or something. But, I mean, for now, the Reaper jumps in and sees everything that's going on, so I guess that just, I guess he's just trying to establish air.
Gets the 2nd gas scout, that's big.
Yeah.
Knows he doesn't have to worry about engineering bay turrets, Ravens, doesn't need to worry about any of that crap. Yeah. So that's a really big scout there for uThermal. Good use of the Reaper. He knows his Hellion's out on the map, though. That's where the minerals have been sunk into for the time being, but he's got a bunker. If he runs past, it's fine. He can deal with this. He's got a Widowmine there too. Is there a Medivac? Did he build one?
No, he built a Viking first.
Okay. I thought he'd try and drop a couple of Marines there, but he's going to play it defensive. That's okay, though.
Again, just contending and slowly building up that kind of air superiority position that he would end up needing. Just in case something was coming along, but it just does transition on nicely to that.
MVP should build a Raven here.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense to go Banshee. Okay, the reason why I say that is because there is a massive threat. Unless did he see the Widowmine?
I don't think he did.
So there's a massive threat if you know what MVP's seen inside uThermal's base of Banshee play. Double gas is there, but he has nothing to defend it currently. Fast third.
Wow, on spot.
Taking so many risks. If there was a Banshee flying in right now, he's in so much trouble. He has 2 Vikings, but nothing to detect. No scans, nothing. And if the Banshee's played out well, it could do a lot. So crazy risks coming out here from MVP, who is going to play mech, by the way, by the looks of it, with the high Hellion count.
And he just spotted the Medivac on the right-hand side. Sick little pickup there for him. He can now start preparing for that. The Vikings are already repositioning themselves to deny that.
Hellions here do present a threat if they run past. But tank is out. But a wall almost there. But yeah, nice find on the Medivac.
And the Vikings actually looking for it. They're going to pass it. Oh, no, okay. They spot it.
Boost.
He just used it. Just used it then, so...
Think happy thoughts.
Just pray.
All right. It will be stopped. It's prevented. That was a nice, lucky, per se, pick up there. But Banshee's going to come in. There's turrets and Widowmines in position. uThermal's kind of done this well. I mean, he saw the Banshee play inside MVP's base. This is pretty locked down. So pretty decent setup from both players. But MVP is playing greedy. Fast third like this, late factories against a bio play who's going to have a lot of Marines and Medivac's out fast here.
Nothing terrifies me more than greedy mech. If you don't know about it going on.
I think we missed it, but the Banshee has been killed.
Oh, did he actually get
into the turret? The turret has 1 kill.
Okay.
It's been killed. So, all right, scans are going down by MVP. Sees he's playing against bio, but there's a second scan. I don't know what that saw.
So at least he spotted the 3rd here, did uThermal. So.
And uThermal's going to boost into the main base as he distracts MVP on the 3rd.
That's a nice move
Nice double move here.
Yeah, like with how greedy he's playing, he's doing quite a bit of damage to this. And then in the main base, there is that missile turret there, but he can still drop these units and do a little bit. Oh, he's going to lose it before he drops
Marines
everything.
Die. But he's going to kill some SCVs, though.
That wasn't the cleanest of maneuvers.
And there was Marines with Stim on the 3rd. I guess his Hellions are there, but nice damage dealt by uThermal.
Hey up. Those all clumped up, and he got a nice volley off at the very end.
Stim is done, Combat Shields is done, Medivacs are getting out. MVP has to play so heavy with mobility here. Heavy Hellion. This is difficult for him to deal with this. He's spread so thin.
Yeah, and uThermal with his army here Is there any room for him to push? I think there may be.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you think that MVP has to play like with mobility here, which means a lot of these Hellions running around, he's got to spread himself across all these bases. If MVP throws all his units to defend his third, then a drop can happen in the main. And vice versa, if MVP defends his main, the units go to the third. MVP's in trouble. I mean, he's played greedy, he's been slowed down, the uThermal's looking to get in here.
I mean, these Hellions are pretty much his army.
uThermal's on like 5 barracks, no third command center. It's just unit, 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 unit.
This is a bit crazy. Like, MVP's army is all in those Hellions, pretty much. Unless they do something to buffer against this, the 2 siege tanks at the back need a huge amount of room.
MVP, I don't think.
And then, well, he's going to try for it. He's going to try. The siege tanks at the back for uThermal, not sieged up, just going straight for the kill, straight for the jugular here. And MVP loses a lot of his army. There you go, GG. uThermal takes game number 1. Killing blow, absolutely.
uThermal has beaten San once. He's beaten MVP once now today. He's 1 game away from knocking out a legend.
Yeah.
It's that simple.
He is. And also, massive props to uThermal in terms of how he is looking at these games and reading it. MVP played greedy. He left himself vulnerable and susceptible to those kinds of plays, and he got punished for it. But uThermal, opportunistic, takes the advantage.
What one move did MVP do in that game that helped him in terms of aggression? Nothing.
Nothing.
Not a single move was... Not a single bit of damage was dealt to uThermal. Banshee failed. Hellions didn't get in anywhere. And then think to the other side. uThermal slowed MVP down at the start. He had double drop action going on. And then just moved in without a third. Lots of barracks. So if MVP didn't slow him down, then your opponent's playing heavy onto base with aggression. You've been slowed down and playing greedy. You're dead.
Yeah,
it's that simple.
And... again, to commend uThermal, wonderful killer instinct. Not going to play the game out long, not going to just kind of keep going. Says, I have done my damage. It's time for me for the follow-up, the 1-2 jab, and take out MVP in game number 1 there.
Yeah, really good play from uThermal today. I think maybe his approach versus San was a little bit risky in the way that he played San. But overall, when he did play against San, from what he did do, despite being countered against a world-class player, looked great. And likewise here, looked good again. He played Bio on a more difficult Bio map to play on, as Mech is much more dominant there. But MVP, like, he just can't do that. Maybe he's feeling pressured that he needs to have an advantage like that, which shouldn't be the case.
Yeah.
I mean, he shouldn't need such a large advantage like that to capitalize. But yeah, uThermal, 1 game away from reversing the group again. This guy comes in after 13 qualifiers, 13 different attempts to find himself in Premier over the last year. Finally makes it. Debut time. Our 2nd youngest player in the Premier League, and he's looking to cause some upsets.
Yeah, and so far, he's on track to do so. He really is. If he can get to that winner, the losers match even, and play against Todd there, anything could happen.
I would think that Todd would rather play MVP. I feel.
I agree. I think I agree.
uThermal's good. uThermal doesn't have... He's playing from Europe like Todd is. He's not going to have any handicaps apart from his own skill. And uThermal's looking good today. This is an important game. Very, very important game for not just the both players in it, but for Todd as well.
All right, both players looking just about ready. We're going to be going on to merry-go-round for our 2nd map. But again, to reiterate, guys, just in case you're tuning in the last five seconds or so, uThermal is currently 1 game up against MVP. If MVP loses this 1 game, he is out in the round of 32 after doing so well in the round of 32 last season.
Yeah.
Being eliminated by his nemesis in the round of 16.
Yeah.
This is not where he wants to be going out at all.
Yeah, the way that MVP wins his games usually isn't like a back and forth win. It's just a win.
Yeah,
it's
just
no back and forth. It's just a demolishing play where your opponent has no say in the matter. He needs to get back into that rhythm. He needs to find a way where uThermal has no answers to anything that he does.
All right, let's jump into it. Game number 2 now between the Netherlands player and the Korean, as we have spawning up the top left-hand corner as our blue Terran. Currently 1 game up. It is uThermal. And down to the south as our red Terran, representing Incredible Miracle, it's MVP.
Best map was the starting map here out of the 2 for MVP in his playstyle, which is going to be Mech. I think that's the best way for him to win. The main reason why that is, because obviously Mech is good there, But this map is not as good for a mech.
No.
It's decent, but it's not that good. There's a lot of airspace. You're going to have to build a lot of turrets to protect different areas of inside your main. All that side needs to be covered, and also the right-hand side. All that side needs to be covered. It's not just one area you need to cover. Lots of dead space, lots of drop potential. And then third is really wide open, which means that it's very easy for big attacks to come in. Spread thin.
Yeah.
Bio spread thin. But uThermal. All right. Gas first. MVP 12-12. So he's going to go Reaper, which we'll see this. And I don't mind this position for MVP. If MVP had played maybe Barracks Command Center, later Gas, maybe he could have been a bit more stretched thin with his defense.
Yeah.
But this is okay, I think, for him, as long as he sees this pretty early, which he should.
Yeah, I think so as well. To come back to the point you were making about merry-go-round, I mean, not only is there the airspace that you have to use, but also if you are going for mech and you want to eventually establish your third base, there's so much walk-around room, right? In terms of just going around the entire map, like completely negating any kind of setup positions that are going on, to the point where the meching player has to just sit around for so long.
Yeah.
So long.
All right.
It's warm, man.
It is warm in the studio
It's
today.
very
It is very warm. So the factory is down much faster here for uThermal. Is able to branch in a couple of ways here. One of the most common is the Widowmine play or Hellion play, but also can go up to Banshee pretty fast too. So those are the three different angles he can approach. Could go for a tank push as well, but that's not as common from this. It's usually like a bit of damage to deal. I mean, a bit of units to deal damage to fall back on an expansion is usually the way Gas First plays out. MVP, upon seeing this, is going to have a faster command center. He's going 2 Reapers, which is interesting here. He's going to go 2 Reapers, so could actually do a bit of damage with 2 Reapers, obviously because there's going to be a low unit count until the Hellions are out, maybe. There's a small window. He'll have a faster command center, and also information to defend. He needs to start to think about his defense.
Jumps up and starts working on a Marine already.
So...
Oh.
All right, everybody together, facepalm.
Oh.
That was pretty silly. That was really silly.
I wonder if I facepalm hard enough, can the microphone pick it up?
Probably. That was really silly. Okay, that's not meant to happen. His plan was to deal damage, back out, go in again with 2 Reapers, deal more damage.
Yeah.
But now he's lost scouting.
Take 2.
He also can't, do the damage he wanted to slow this down. I wonder if he's figured out what's going on with his opponent yet. I mean, it's hard to see. Very difficult to tell already that this is Gas First. He doesn't really know. He doesn't know what this is. He has to get in and scout.
And the Marines are positioned in such a way that it's going to make it
He can run
really
past one
difficult.
Marine. He can run past one, but he really does have to run past. You stop and shoot, you're not going to get much.
Oh, the second Marine there rallied towards it as well. Oh, this is bad for MVP. I mean, the SCV came out then.
I mean, it's bad that he doesn't know what he's playing against, but he does have Hellions of his own out or on the way. He needs to not allow darkness within inside his main base, otherwise they may drop. And if all these units unload, yes, he lost the Reaper again. If these units unload inside the main base, it's going to be hard to stop them because there is a medivac to heal the Marines. MVP also is spread thin. He's got to forget about his natural. He just needs to not... Okay, good. Supply depot inside the main base. That's a good start. That's exactly what I said. He must not allow darkness inside his main. But still, he's in trouble. He's not in the best shape right now. He might have to pull SCVs. That's okay as well to pull SCVs and lose some, but... All right.
Here we go.
Here we go. The Hellions are stuck. They're trapped.
Oh, God, that was actually a beautiful positioning on these Marines to help this out. He doesn't quite chase them down. The Marines aren't being so useful at the back.
The other 2 Hellions, this could be just over.
Uh-oh. Yeah,
this could be just over.
Like that.
3 Hellions. He didn't lose a single Hellion. uThermal is seconds away, potentially, of flipping this group upside down and eliminating the King.
And even if he doesn't kill him here, the Banshee follow-up is on the way as well. He has to prepare for so much. Workers killed off quite a lot. 8 to 11 now, and he kills off the Hellions.
MVP's just not playing very well. It's like he's lost his Reapers. He didn't deal with this very well. uThermal is going to knock out MVP from the round of 32. This is incredible. This is so big for uThermal.
Wow. What a play. What a play. MVP completely put against the wall. uThermal brings him down, and he has very few workers left. 5.
He's dead. He's gone. Peace.
Peace. It's difficult to recover from 5 workers, Sean.
Banshee and Cloak on the way. You don't have an engineering bay. You do not have any way to stop Cloak, you're going to be wanting using every single bit of
Yeah.
energy for mules. uThermal has cracked and prevented a legend from getting into the round of 16. This was always going to be MVP and Sand's difficult part of the WCS.
Wow.
GG uThermal eliminates MVP. MVP in last place. In last place. And he continues. Well, if you think about MVP's career within the WCS, at the top, a champion, decline round of 16, decline round of 32, spike up because he played well in Season 1 to then be prevented by MMA, but he drops back down to equal low, where he lost versus Showtime, but he finished in 3rd place that time. This time, last.
This was supposed to be his stepping stone to then move on forwards and keep going, keep powering forwards, be the MVP that everyone knows and loves. But unfortunately, it wasn't quite there today.
But it is all about uThermal.
Yeah.
The player from the Netherlands has eliminated, you know, MVP. This is so big for him. 1 Korean is eliminated from this group. 2 Koreans already eliminated from the WCS. We saw 1 fall off on Tuesday, another one today. And now it's a battle between France and Holland for the 2nd place spot.
And this could go either way, guys. So after the break, join us for the final series of the night here in Group D. uThermal plays against Todd.